Hey everybody, welcome to my plan with me for the week of June 17th through the 23rd. I'm using this Lynner Designs Pride Brunch kit because I am using rainbow / pride themed kits this month. There's only one that is not pride specific. So I know I used this art, but Lynn did it a little bit differently with the color scheme and everything, and I'm really excited to use it again. And then we've got a couple of different foil colors. So I got the, I don't know what you call it, but hollow lines, which I've got a couple of samplers from Kristen's planner for scripts. And then I am using sky blue from Lynner Designs. I did get the Pride foil pack. So that's just the scripts, and then there's the rest of it, which I love these. I think they're super fun. I also really like this quote. Yeah, I just think it's a really good foil pack. And then we've got the solid underlays, which are that same hollow lines. And I am putting these over it. So it's kind of the inverse of what I did with my other spread that had sky blue and hollow. So I'm excited to see what it looks like opposite. So I will get right into it. Okay, so first I am going to mark the month as usual, which it is June. And then for the sidebar, I am marking that this was the week of Juneteenth. And then I'm also marking Hello Summer because this week was the beginning of summer, but I did not realize it before I pulled all the daily stickers, so I thought I would acknowledge it there. So Monday, the first thing I marked is that I got a Bleachers signed vinyl. I did order it this day, but I was excited I was able to get it. And then the next thing I marked is work. I must have been doing some silhouette work because I did pick a silhouette sticker for it. Then I went on a post office run, and there were thunderstorms going on while I was doing that. So that was not fun or the best timing on my part. And then when I got back home, I watched the new Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. And I don't know if this was when I finished it. I'm not 100% sure when the finale came out, but I was kind of confused because in the first season, I feel like they wrapped things up a lot more. And in this season, it just kind of like ended. And that was not what I expected. So I'm hoping there's a third season, but there was also a lot of stuff that annoyed me about this season. So I don't know. I'll watch it if there's more though. Next, I marked that I watched the new episode of Evil and that I was organizing my vinyl. So I was probably doing that at the same time. And then I switched over to Veronica Mars. And I was just like really hungry this night. So I put that I was snacky AF. Because I was just really hungry. I know the sticker doesn't exactly match, but I forgot to pull a label for that one for some reason, so I was working with what I could find easily. So on Tuesday, I got up early, took a shower, I filmed a haul clip, which makes me sad because I didn't get to post my June haul, and I don't know how much stuff I'm going to have in my July haul. I really haven't gotten many orders, so I might have to combine it with August. We'll see though. Then I watched some more Veronica Mars, and I was drawing while I was doing that. And my husband and I went to the theater this day because we had tickets to see Inside Out, and our theater has like discounted tickets on Tuesdays and I think free popcorn too. But unfortunately, the projector for that theater broke, and they offered to put us in like another showing of it, but they only had the first couple rows available by that point. So we just took movie passes and a refund because I don't know, I can't deal with being that close to the screen. It's just too big for that. So since we were out of the house and our plan kind of got derailed, we decided to go have dinner. So we went and had Olive Garden because I've had it a few times with Sarah, but my husband hasn't had it. I don't think he had it since we'd moved. So that was nice. Then when I got back home, I watched more Veronica Mars and did some reading. I always struggle with these boxes, and I feel like I always say it, but I just confuse myself. Wednesday was Juneteenth, so I marked that first thing, and then I woke up with a chronic pain flare, like really, really bad. I was having like throbbing and stabbing pain. So because of that, I was listening to the book Funny Story for my book club, and I just laid in bed and finished it because I was in too much pain to get out of bed. Then I was able to get up and play Princess Peach Showtime with my husband. And I forgot to say, I really liked Funny Story. I would definitely recommend it. It's a fun romance, and I'm not into like the spicy romance stuff, so I like that kind. But I gave it 4 stars. These days, I'm typically pretty stingy with 5 stars. Like, unless it's something I absolutely love and would reread, I don't give it 5 stars. And I did forget to mention this TV and this character are from my shop Corks and Corgs Co. on Etsy. I also do icons like that without the character. So if that's something that you're interested in, my shop is linked below. And any shop updates I do typically do on Instagram, which is also below. So after playing Princess Peach Showtime with my husband, I did watch more Veronica Mars. It's just, I watched it like when it was coming out, and basically any Veronica Mars content there was, I was consuming. Like, there was a web show with the character Dick, who I don't even really like him in the show. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to, but I watched that because it was like all we had at the time. And it was, I feel like it was on YouTube or maybe some streaming service, like before there were a million streaming services. So after watching that, I did some planning, and I was listening to an audiobook while I was doing that. Then I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and ate pizza for dinner. And then I finished that book that I had started this day, which was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, I believe it is. And that was a really good book. I had heard it was good, but I started and finished it this day. It's a pretty quick read, and I never listen to anything on like normal speed. I always speed it up to at least 1.5 times. So yeah, it was really fast to get through. She definitely does talk about a lot of traumatic things in her life. So, I mean, if you're wanting to read it, I guess keep that in mind. But it was definitely a really interesting book. Thursday morning, I was texting Sarah. I'm guessing it was for a while because I don't usually mark it since we text every day pretty much. But it's been so long, I don't remember like what we were talking about. I also drew that sticker, which I was really proud of. It was fun. But after texting Sarah, I did have some pool time. So I was just kind of floating in the pool, hanging out, listening to my audiobook. I'm not sure what I was listening to at this point because, like I said, I had finished a couple books on Wednesday. Then I got a grocery delivery, and I watched Pretty Little Liars Original Sin because the new episodes did come out on Thursdays, so I watched it the day it came out. And then I also watched the new Criminal Minds Evolution because they both are Thursday shows. And I did take a nap. And then I was planning for quite a while because I only marked it once, but I was planning and then I stopped for dinner, and then I was planning again for, I think, basically the rest of the evening. I did mark that there was new Gracie Abrams music because her new album came out this evening. Since I'm in Central Time Zone, 11 p.m. is when new music comes out for me, so I will typically mark it on Thursdays just because that's when I listen to it. But it is really good. I love her music, and this album is just great. I think my favorite song is still the song Us, which it's not just because it's featuring Taylor Swift. I just really enjoy the song, but that's really good. I have the album on vinyl as well. Friday, I woke up and my brain was just all over the place. Like, I was really scatterbrained. I didn't mark it, but I just was like all over the place. I couldn't focus on a single thing for very long, which I didn't really realize that it was so bad until I got to Target. So I did go on a Target run to pick up the new Gracie Abrams album, and Sarah met up with me there because she was coming over to my house. So we just met up on the way because we both wanted to get it. Then I grabbed lunch and we headed back to my house. So we were having a pool day, which usually consists of us listening to music and having drinks in the pool. And we did listen to the surprise songs from the Eras Tour this day. So we just played it on the speaker and like listened from, I think, Sarah's phone, because I think mine had overheated by this point. But this day they were The Black Dog mashed up with Come Back Be Here, and then Maroon, which she's played Maroon a lot, but I also love that song, so I wasn't mad. But yeah, that was really fun. It's always fun to listen to the songs together. And then we played what I marked as claw pong. So I have an inflatable pool float, which you can play beer pong with, but we had White Claws, so that's why I have it as claw pong. And that's been really fun. It's a fun thing to do in the pool. Oh gosh, this is really big. I think I'm just gonna leave it. So once we were done with our pool time and my husband was off work, we all went to dinners at a local place called TJ's, and they have like burgers, wings, pizza, and more. But this day I got wings because I hadn't tried their wings, and those were really delicious. And I also just can't say enough good things about how accommodating they are with food allergies. It's super nice, and especially the fact that they're a smaller place and they have the options, let alone like the way that they go about making sure everything is okay for me, is just really great. So after we had dinner, Sarah went home, and Brian and I just like cuddled because we were really tired from the day. Then I watched Veronica Mars, and I did some more reading. I'm really curious what I was listening to at this point because I don't remember. Part of me thinks maybe it was Fourth Wing, but I feel like I didn't start it this long ago, so I'm not sure. Saturday, I woke up early with a stomach ache, and so then I just like went downstairs and ended up sleeping on the couch for a while. I did some computer work, just planning related stuff, not specifically shop related, but I did still mark it as work because I feel like YouTube is kind of, part of it. Then I did some more planning. So as you can see from the amount of planning I have been doing, I'm trying to catch up. And I want to just show this because I just did this to use as many boxes in this kit as I could. I don't think I had overlays for these two, so I think that's why they don't have them. But since they're covered, I thought it was okay. Oh, okay. So I was listening to Imaginary Friend at this point, which I don't know if I marked when I finished it. So I'll like hold off on talking about my thoughts until then. But it's a really long book. Like, I think the audiobook, if you don't like speed it up, is 24 hours. So I actually have the physical book too, and it's really long, which is interesting because it's by the author who wrote The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and that book is super short. So yeah, it's just very interesting. It's a very different book too. Then I did watch the surprise songs for the Eras Tour again this day, or at least one of them, because this was the day that Hayley Williams came on stage with Taylor and sang Castles Crumbling, which they do collaborate on her album, Speak Now Taylor's version. So that was really cool that they did that live. We were all kind of waiting for it because Paramore has been touring with her, so I figured it was going to happen at some point. But as a Swiftie/emo kid, it was just a really fun time to watch that. So after that, I did watch Inside Out with Brian because we figured while we didn't get to see the new one, so we may as well rewatch the first one before we do see Inside Out 2. And it was so good. I mean, I've seen it before more than once, but I just love it so much. I feel like it's such a good representation of like mental health. And from what I've heard and seen online, I haven't seen the movie yet, Inside Out 2 is probably even better in that aspect. So I'm really excited to see that. Just haven't been able to get over to the theater. Then I watched Veronica Mars and I filmed a bass. I usually just watch TV while I'm filming basses because they just take me so long, which they probably wouldn't if I didn't do stuff like this, but the foil makes me so happy. So Saturday, I had a really bad nightmare, and then my husband's finger was still really swollen. He got stung on Friday, our pool day, and it was on his ring finger, and he took his ring off as a precaution when it happened, just in case it did swell. So because it wasn't too bad, he put it back on, and it was fine until he woke up. I think it was this day, and then it was like so swollen he couldn't get his ring off, and it was still really bad on Sunday, so it was just crazy. So I marked that. I don't know if he's allergic or if it was just a really bad sting, but that sucked. So I cooked us breakfast this morning, and I'm not 100% sure if I cooked myself breakfast or if it was just for Brian, because I did have a stomachache this morning. But then I watched Veronica Mars while I was doing some planning. Oh gosh, I just didn't mark the planning part. I thought that was appropriate. I don't know that it was necessarily a bee that stung him, but I mean, the stabby bees, I thought it was a perfect time to use it. So after Veronica Mars, the Eras Tour surprise songs were gonna happen soon, and I was watching her Tortured Poets Department set, which is the one that's right before her surprise songs. And this was the day that Travis Kelce came on stage and carried her like one of her performers usually does. And my group chat was losing it. The internet was losing it. It was just a wild time. And then on top of that, Gracie Abrams, who had come out with her new album on Friday, but Thursday for me, her and Taylor sang that collaboration song together. So that was a chaotic, fun time, and it was really, really cool. Taylor played with us for a minute because she started singing the song and Gracie wasn't on stage, but there had been photos of her at the concert, so we knew she was there. And then she stopped and she was like, I feel like I'm missing something, and then Gracie came on stage. So I was starting to get a little confused. I was like, she's there, why is she not on stage? Yeah, then I had some pool time and I was just chilling by myself, and I ran out of White Claw, and my husband brought me one, which was really sweet, so I felt the need to mark that. And then I just ended the night with more planning. So that's my weekend full. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.